Well, hello everyone, it's David again. This video is probably unusual in that it's not a product video for a change for my store. What I'm going to do today is unbox a new piece of kit which I've just gone into the workshop. Looking around for a new airbrush, and what I want to do today is an unboxing of the one which I decided I'd like to take a look at. Now, the one I've decided on, many of you have probably seen lots of videos, is the new airbrushes from Gaahleri. I've gone with the 0.2 version of the Mobius. So let's get it out of the box and have a look. I thought I'd wait until I got it here and have a look at it sort of first time with you guys. So let's get him out of the box, and we'll have a look at this new piece of engineering. A lot of people across the internet have been sort of raving about really what Gaahleri have done with a couple of pieces of design. So very nice packaging. It's talks a lot about the the design on the back, and the micro air channel nozzle, which is also a unique innovation for them. They also talk about the mirror level of the cup for effortless cleaning, they say. Well, we'll see when we get some paint onto it. Lightweight and ergonomic. Again, love the ergonomic word. You'll hear that a lot across a lot of my videos. And also the main lever with an adjustable tension. Again, that's going to be an interesting one to actually test out for real. So let's get it out of the box. That feels very much like an unboxing of some technology from a certain company beginning with A. Quite like that. Oh, and inside the box is also, if I can get the light to not bounce off it so you guys can see it, it gives you an exploded view of the entire airbrush, disassembled. Tells you all the parts, what they are, what they're called, where they go, and more importantly, where all of the O-rings are located when you do need to replace those, which is very useful. Often I don't see that in instructions for airbrushes, and it's all here in really very clear detail. Very happy with that. That's a great idea to show me where all the O-rings go. So let me put that down. Right, so in the box we get a dear customer that's talking about social media and how you can, I guess, register the actual airbrush itself, and of course the instructions which come with a sort of initial quick start guide. Let's have a quick flick through some of the pages. That way, yes it is. So that's the English way. So it gives you very straightforward and easy to follow instructions on how to use this. I like the idea if you start to have some issues, they give you straight away what can you do to remedy this. You may have seen on their own channel as well. They're also putting together a lot of short videos, aren't they? About if you have this issue, this is how you resolve it. Which I've been watching, absolutely, because I still get issues with airbrushes. Yeah, also you get how to disassemble it, and also what you need to disassemble for adding the lubrication. So that's the instruction book. Now let's have a look at the main event, as it were. Let's do that. Ah yes, so these are the O-rings, which I mentioned earlier. That exploded view in the box lid. That's where it'll tell you where all of these rings go when you need to replace them. Right, so let's have a look at the Mobius 2. It's got a cap. Let's put that down. So that's the actual airbrush itself. And I must admit, first impressions, it is a beautiful piece of engineering. I do like the surfaces that they put onto this. Absolutely. This rear end is a glorious piece of design. I do like that. It really sets it apart. Also, when I first picked it up, feels about the same weight as my existing airbrush. In fact, let me get that across so we can do a comparison. Hang on a sec. Okay, so my existing airbrush is one of these. It's the Infinity CR Plus. Been using it for probably a couple of years or thereabouts, and it's been okay. it does the job. Still have some issues with trying to get all the adjustments correct, and still have issues with air and paint mix. I think that's just a part of the course with airbrushes, I think. But let's compare the two together, and you can kind of see how the Mobius 2 I guess differs, or is sort of very similar in size. Feels a little bit lighter than this guy. But I think that's just me. I think it's going to be a preference if what you feel like in your hand. But together they obviously have similar designs. But it's interesting that they've taken each part of the airbrush and asked themselves, how can we innovate? So they've gone from the front to the back and said, okay, how can we improve on pretty much what a standard airbrush looks like and how it behaves? Let me put that away. And there's a couple of things which they talk about. I mean, the instructions are very, very clear. They talk about how to start, how to adjust, and that's really what it's about. So at the front, you get an air adjustment, for instance, which is quite unusual. That's very, very interesting. It's got a standard quick release here, but that's an air adjustment. So if you do need to adjust the air, and that's I guess that innovation there absolutely links to what's going on in this end, and I'll show you that in a second. So they do talk about that quite a lot, that they've really looked at airflow on this end, because often that's the main cause of issues with airbrush. It's the airflow and the paint mix, and how the two come together to give you that to give you the finish or the performance you're looking for. So they thought about that a great deal. Also innovated with the actual trigger itself. It's larger than most. It's also shaped when you actually push and pull. That's a very nice action. I like the idea that this is much larger area. That's very good. This flat surface here, where they put the actual logo itself. Again, I like that, because once you're holding it, it's a flat surface. Whereas most airbrushes just continue with the barrel, and that can be a bit difficult to hold. That's flat, so my thumb fits beautifully against that. So I'm expecting to have much more control there, because of that reason. Moving on, you get two adjustments on this end. This end adjustment is the fluid control knob, or the paint, I guess you call it, whatever else you're spraying. That gives you that's an adjustment there for that part. That sort of screws in to adjust how far this can come back. And then the last adjustment is how stiff you actually want this trigger, and that's the adjustment in there. It kind of depends. Again, it's a very, very subjective thing. When I started using airbrushes, this trigger has kind of got stiffer and stiffer over the years, particularly with my other one. I've sort of made that so it's quite stiff. I like that because I feel like I'm pushing against something, and it gives me more control, because I'm spraying very, very small amounts of paint. I'm pretty much standardised on a 0.2 needle, and I found if it was too loose, just spraying too much paint. So I've made my my triggers quite stiff. So I'm probably going to pretty tighten this up as nearly as far as it'll go, probably. So I get the kind of feel I have with my my hardback. But you do have absolute control there. Now, let's just maybe put that down for a second. Let's have a look at what else is in the box. So you get some lube, and you also get the paint cup itself, which is fighting me to come out of the box. There it is. Again, they've thought about what could actually be an innovation there, and they've made the inside of this thing super polished. It's almost mirror-like. Again, for easier cleaning, and also so the paint flows much better. Again, I'll be testing that when I'm putting mostly acrylics through it, but these days can be other things as well. I mean, look, actually, recently I've been painting with the Cobra range from Ammo, and again, that is acrylic, but that's the base coat. The top coat is solvent based. So it'd be interesting how that sort of cleans up with this kind of mirror finish. So let's put that on the airbrush so you can see it in its full glory, and that feels absolutely fine. It doesn't feel top heavy at all. It doesn't. That's pretty balanced. So again, I like the ergonomics of that. Aesthetically it looks fantastic, but the ergonomics, They've really sort of thought about how that's going to sit in your hand, where your finger's going to go, the size of this this trigger, how stiff the trigger is, the airflow. So let's talk about the airflow. So let me just get the cap off, because I want to show you what's going on this end. So let me just take that out. I'm not sure if you can make that out on camera, but that's got channels cut into the barrel, and that's this innovation they talk about for airflow. They've looked at the issues that a lot of people have with airbrushes, and a lot of it is controlling the airflow. Now, normally with an airbrush, it's on or off. You set the you set your compressor with its appropriate PSI, then you control how much air comes through with your with the trigger, and that's kind of it, really. But they thought, well, can't we do more control? Can't we control how the air actually moves through the the nozzle, and then how much air you actually put through? So this, when you sort of, I guess, compare, or it's in tandem with the adjustment here, they feel that is an absolute innovation for for airbrushes. Well, we will see when I've actually tested this thing. So you got some lube in the box as well, when you do actually need to to lubricate this thing. So let's just take the back off. You can see what this actually looks like. So standard. Wow, that's a very thick needle. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that thick, but it's very robust compared to some of the other needles I've used, which are very fragile. But of course, the actual end of this is, it's beautifully machined, as you'd expect from Gaahleri, who's produced something like this. So these needles are very nice indeed, well made. So again, should have no issues getting a good paint finish. But we will see when I actually test this for real. So let's put this back together. Let's tighten him up, and then let's put the locking ring on, and then let's get that right up there. So yeah, that came to, again, went together. Came apart, went together beautifully. Again, the engineering feels spot on. The screw threads are there. You don't feel anything's wobbly, or it's not in alignment. None of that. So that's the new airbrush from Gaahleri. So it's in the premium range. This is one of their new Mobiuses. This is the 2. You can also get a 0.3. I also got from the company was a spare needle. That's what these guys look like. You get one of those. And I also, I thought while I was at it, I'll get one of the spare the spare airbrush heads as well, just to make sure I've got a spare. And all these are of course available right across their website. You might also want to maybe potentially splash out on a stand, which I did, to actually put this on my in my extraction booth when I'm not using it. I sort of went out a little bit and bought one of these. I think I could quickly show you what this looks like. Let's get the plastic bag open. It feels very heavy, but of course it's got to hold the airbrush in situ. So it's a lovely piece of machined. I think it must be aluminium, or at least it's chromed something or other. It's a very nice stand, and the whole idea is that when you're not using it, it sits like that. If you haven't got it plugged into your extractor, or sorry, not your extractor, into your compressor, that's how you could sit, and it looks like a piece of modern art sitting like that. But that's the stand if you wanted to avail yourself of that. But I think a lot of people might have compressors with 2 hoses, so you basically leave this attached all the time, depending on your usage. But yeah, very impressed with the design. In the hand, I think feels heavy enough, I think. its weight and its how it's actually sort of balanced is is really nice. But of course the testing is going to be where you actually start to put some paint through it, and what kind of adjustment you get, if you have the control that you're looking for, and that's why I went with the 2. It's going to be an interesting one, and what I'll do is I'll come back to you guys when I've had some paint through this thing, various types of paint, and maybe all the materials, just to see how it actually performs. But as I say, on the face of it, as a new airbrush, it's a beautiful piece of design, and the engineering seems to be absolutely top notch. Couple of innovations across it as well. So yeah, can we look forward to actually testing that for real. So that's the Gaahleri Premium Mobius 0.2 version of their new airbrush. So I'll come back to you with a follow-up video where I've actually put some paint through this thing, and my sort of thoughts and feelings on that. So until next time, I'll see you soon.